Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
Welcome to Sports Management Podcast, where you will hear interesting sports management professionals share their stories, experiences, and passion for the sports management industry. I am your host, Marcus Philipson. Welcome to episode 194 of Sports Management Podcast. Today's guest is Samuel Hymes, a Harvard fellow and consultant who has previous experiences from the NHL, Washington Commanders, and more. We spoke about graduating at the beginning of COVID, his time at the Washington Commanders, the objectives of his current research, sports diplomacy, AI in sports, and much more. Samuel Hymes, welcome to Sports Management Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's great to have you on the show. You are a Harvard fellow, a consultant. You have worked in sports in the sports industry for a couple of years. So can you give a little bit of an introduction about yourself?
Yeah, Marcus, thanks again. So hello everyone. My name is Samuel Hymes. I'm currently based in Washington, D.C., and that's where I'm originally from. So I started my whole career when going to undergrad, Drexel University, where I graduated the day the pandemic hit, March 18th of 2020. I didn't really know if I was going to work in sports, but I was always really interested in it because of my fandom and sports interests. So I got a job really in the pandemic. I really got the first job I can get where I worked for an HR trade association where we were able to help advise all these Fortune 500 companies during the pandemic and help keep people afloat while during the hardships of the pandemic and what was going on with that. What I always saw was that they really had a great niche of what could be interesting within sports and how sports can really interest so many people throughout life. And I've always thought that we should create a sports entertainment division. Granted, this was my first job at age 23, and I wanted to make sure that I could really stand out, especially that I was fully remote at the time. So I knew like 5 people out of the 300 that were in the office. So I created this memo and I saw success with it. And I was able to create all these different pitches over email because we couldn't meet in person. And I had to create all these pitches, and it really worked out with such a successful initiative where we created different partnerships, not only in North America with the NFL, MLB, NHL, NFL, and NBA, but also we created partnerships in different countries like Canada, India, and much more as well too. And that's what really got me into sports and led me to go to Georgetown University. And now currently I'm a fellow at Harvard University right now.
That's fantastic. And it must have been like graduating in that uncertain times. And as you said, everything was on distance. So how, you mentioned a little bit, but like, how was that experience like for you to, when you want to start out your career, to not be able to, meet your colleagues and be in meetings and out traveling, so you have to be at home?
Yeah, I think it's about adjusting. I mean, granted, I never really thought I was going to move back to Washington, D.C. I loved growing up here, but I always thought I was going to move somewhere else. But really just being able to adjust really quickly on the spot. Like I was able to get a job within 3 weeks. I thought that was a really big accomplishment. And also to stand out was really important. Always trying to meet people, whether it be over Slack for like a virtual coffee, which was, trying to make the most of those opportunities, which was really scarce at the time. If I got like 5 minutes to 10 minutes from someone else, I just want to make sure I make the most of it every day. And I knew at the time as well that there's nothing really else going on. I knew that the pandemic was a perfect time to grow. So I was more than willing to do more and grow and help out different fields because we were so limited during this crazy time. So I always wanted to put my first foot forward and wanted to make myself and send all these introductions so people knew that they can depend on me being the youngest and last hire that they had at the time.
I love that drive. And that's what you need to do to stick out. And I think that's... I've talked a lot about that, like what you need to have, and saying just loving sports is not enough. You need to have that something extra, and that drive and that determination it shines through for sure.
Absolutely.
So you're a young guy, and still you have quite the sports experience. Still, worked for the NHL. You have been a consultant with the Washington Commanders and so on. So how have you been able to, collect this type of experience so early in your career?
I think it's really about making the most out of every opportunity. So one of the things especially what I'm proud about with the Commanders is I started out as we called them the Fan Ambassador Network, where we had such a unique case study. And for me, of course, I'm biased. Being from Washington, it is my favorite team. Being a part of like where they had the original name to the football team name to the now Commanders name, where I was won a contest that was one of the 30 people out of like the 5,000 that submitted applications to be a part of like a focus group participant. And out of the 30, I was able to, make connection with people who actually worked with the team and was able to be brought on from making all these connections during all these meetings when the folks we were more about like the name change, the merchandise, the culture, and changing out all the shifts of what's been so successful this year with this winning season we just recently had. So that was a really great opportunity making it from a small part of that. And that's where I really enjoyed the opportunity. And then with the NHL, I was currently in grad school and I always thought like I wanted to do more and learn more about this field because I feel like I got into the field a little bit later than my colleagues did. Some people I knew when they started out in college, they really wanted to be in sports management. I wasn't as sure about that at the time. I wanted to explore other options at the time. So I wanted to make up for it and I wanted to check out other opportunities where I came across and worked with the NHL and their congressional sporting events where top congressional members play a game of hockey for a charitable cause. And it's really great initiative where it's also helps me understand and learn more about sponsorships and working with different people. And one of my favorite things was able to get the Stanley Cup to be brought down to Washington, D.C. I've seen it for the first time. It is beyond incredible. I love it. And it was just great to work with so many high executives of the NHL as well with that initiative.
Definitely. And yeah, I've actually seen the cup as well. It was in Sweden at some point when a player won it from my hometown. So it's majestic for sure.
But yeah, no, it's incredible. I will never forget it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, if you touch it, you're cursed. You cannot win it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and now, okay, so now you're a dual fellow now, right, at Harvard and the Economic Club of New York.
Yes.
So what are the primary objectives now of your current research?
Yeah. So one of the topics is about sports diplomacy and how it can help create different initiatives throughout the world to help enhance the relationships. That's just really exciting for me. And then also the other one is with an AI governance, which I think is also exciting because the world of AI is so quick and fast, and it's really something to help out different companies and businesses on how to make the right decisions with that. Because something that was the best AI 2 months ago may be completely different today. And that's why I think it's so intimidating, but also exciting about the field as well. But going to this more about sports diplomacy is something I've always been passionate about, especially with North America and specifically US being the place where all these mega global sporting events are happening, with the Club World Cup happening starting in June. You have the World Cup, Men's World Cup in 2026. You have the LA 28 and many more to come, which is such a great time period. But how to make the most of these opportunities? Because in the US, we haven't had a mega global event since the Olympics in 2002. So how to make the most of it? How can we enhance relationships from this? And I feel like the way of sport can definitely be a great way to enhance those relationships with other countries and help fix a lot of the issues.
Definitely, and I mean it's an interesting time now, right? From a political standpoint, with the U.S. being, involved in many conflicts around the world. Also, that's not directly influencing the U.S.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If we take the diplomacy part, like how important do you see that the sport plays in a larger scale, like in terms of like solving or the ability to solve political issues?
Well, I think it's just shown throughout different history around global history where it's like you see ping pong diplomacy, you've seen it in rugby as well. But I think having it here and showcasing the country, because it's so scarce to have this opportunity, we're so lucky and great, and I'm grateful to have this opportunity, and especially in the U.S. But I think it's also wonderful to help with it, especially from an economic standpoint, and to help with also building these relationships and being able to show off how great it would be to have everything, how great it is to have everything in America as well.
Yeah. And I mean, tourism has been something discussed now with the new presidential, the swap of and the new President Trump. And I mean, as you said, like the sport event will definitely be something that will attract a lot of people coming from all over the world to watch these great events.
Absolutely. And I just want to make sure, I think it's very vital to, again, as we said before, is like how hard it is to get these types of events, but also there have been these great events that you look back on, they are great at the time, but they have like long lasting impacts that can really hurt financially, especially looking at Brazil in 2014. You look at Montreal in 1980. And those are ones that like obviously great at the time, but the long lasting one, they really have hurt the economy for a long time. So making sure this is a great standpoint can also help relationships and really make the most out of this really great opportunity because we don't know when the next one could be. So making the most out of it.
Definitely. And yeah, you mentioned a couple of examples there, and from Greece in 2004 as well. And there are several examples when it had been a negative economic impact. But I mean, US is a different beast when it comes to the economy, and obviously, if you play those cards right, that as you say, there's huge potential from several factors.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If we jump into the AI that you said, I mean, that's obviously like in every sector now. How can you integrate that more? But also like there have some, with maybe privacy issues or like other like, pros and cons with everything, obviously. But where do you see the greatest potential with AI in the sports industry?
I think it's changing every day and so exciting. There's definitely different ways. What I've been amazed by and seeing different teams use it for like how to get help with player performance and how to help them understand their exact data, and the data has become even more precise and more clear, and helping players even get better at their skills and craft, whether it be making them faster, helping them better be able to score even better and have better opportunities to become the best players that they can be overall. So I think in different ways, especially, whether it be hockey, basketball, or soccer, there's different ways that it can be used to help players have a better, more complete game that they have, which I think is incredible.
Yeah, for sure. And you've also like collected some, professional and leadership experience. I think I read somewhere that you founded the congressional tennis match. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, we're in the process of making it right now. It's a really amazing opportunity. So with all these congressional sporting events, obviously the one that's the most notable is the congressional baseball event that's happened. It's over 100 years old. It's a holiday here in DC where both sides, the Republican and Democrat, play against each other. It's a really great initiative and something that everyone in DC really loves. But most people also don't really realize is that there's other congressional sporting events as well, whether it be the soccer, the hockey one that we already spoke about, and they have the one for the NFL and they have one for basketball too. With these events, it's just they're not as well known. That's what I was really surprised about. When I was originally in grad school, I was just looking up different things of what I can do to help grow and build my repertoire around. I wasn't starting to start out as the most well-known hockey fan, but I really loved it as I continued working for it. But there are all these great events, and that's what led me to work in the soccer event as well. So when I worked for the soccer event, I got recruited to work there. It was really great to help revive that after the pandemic, but also really great to work with people from the U.S. Soccer Federation that's based in Chicago, U.S. Soccer Foundation that's based in D.C., and help really build this great event that's hosted at D.C. United Audi Field, and many people from all over come for it. And I thought there's such a love with tennis. Why not start thinking about something where we can do something for the sport of tennis? Because that's not been done yet. And all the other ones outside of baseball are really just a little over 10 years old. So how can we make it more monumental for the entire city while also doing something that I think could be really brought together and bring people together through the world of sport? And it's been really great to speak with a lot of people who are already interested so far, especially people in Congress, people on the Hill. It's been really wonderful to already have a great idea and mindset with it. So it's been wonderful.
Definitely. And great, you're finding these, gaps in the market, so to speak, and you see opportunities. And I'm sure that this also, you mentioned like you work in soccer, you work in hockey, like this is great also for your network to build up a strong network in the sports industry.
Absolutely. Yeah. I always think, maybe because I'm from Washington, D.C., but I always think more than just one thing, having like learning more about hockey, learning more about soccer, working in football. I want to have a more diverse background and really helping out. But most importantly, I think it's really helped me with results and helping understand what else I can do better, and having different opportunities can make me think a little differently into having more great opportunities as well, too.
So, I mean, now you're a dual fellow now. So, looking ahead, do you have any specific career goals or something you work against or towards, rather?
I'm really thinking more about what else I can really do from that. I mean, I'm really enjoying this fellowship right now. I'm so grateful for the team I have right now, where they've given me so much independence and they've been allowed me to grow, and they've really taught me. This is my first research paper that I'll be publishing by the end of this year, which I'm really excited about. But they give me a lot of like saying they give me really the keys to this opportunity, and they've been really helpful. If I have a question, but be able to learn how to do research paper their ways has been really helpful for me. So learning really about this growth opportunity from there, and then hopefully we'll continue moving forward. And I'm so grateful for where I'm able to travel a lot to either Boston, Cambridge, or New York City as well too. So it's been really great to have all these great team members that I'm able to work with.
Definitely. You say, I mean, we mentioned you're still early in your career, but still, managed a lot of things. So has there been any bumps on the road thus far, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely it's just everything, learning how to grow, learning how to do everything really quickly. And just, I think sometimes the biggest thing I had to learn a lot is that I have so many interests. I sometimes want a lot more on my plate because I just love what I'm doing. I love this industry. I think it's really great and I want to do so much. And I feel like I want to play catch up a little bit, but I also really interested in the field. So I feel grateful for that. But I think learning about how to improve my time management is something that I really am working on right now, and learning how to be able to do everything while still trying to add as much as I can, while also limiting what I can do to make sure I can have the most of the opportunity. Cause I think it's be better to do 5 things really well than like 20 things medium. So I think that's really something I'm learning a lot more about, and making the most out of these opportunities to continue moving forward.
Hmm. Maybe AI could assist there as well to do some of the more like trivial tasks, and then in order to speed up processes.
Absolutely. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's talking about ChatGPT or something like that. Of course, it's not like the whole, it's not supposed to be only that, like people are writing their whole thing there, but, to get some assistance here and there from AI, I think can be very effective.
Absolutely, but also for me, I want to continue. Like I do enjoy. I'm a former editor myself, so I do like to help enhance my writing skills. So I definitely want to try to work on that. If I depend on AI too much, then I think definitely my skills will regress a lot. So hopefully, I can still continue the writing part myself.
You're also an adjunct instructor and capstone advisor, right?
Yeah, so it's been really helpful right now, starting with the capstone process, really helping with what other people would call like a senior thesis at the end. It's like basically their final paper, what they wanted to defend at Georgetown University. That's what we did at Georgetown University. I did it. I had a great experience and I loved what I did. So hopefully it's my way of giving back to my university, which I'm so grateful to be a part of. And to call myself an alum from that is amazing because I grew up in DC, looked up to Georgetown. It was such a great opportunity now to call myself an alumni. And I just think I've really been able to help out the students so far. It's been really wonderful and helpful. I really, again, kind of what we talked about earlier about time management skills, especially where it's something where you kind of work on it a little bit per week and make sure you have it. But if you miss a week or two, it's really going to be so tumultuous to get back onto the research aspect of it. So it's been really great with that. And the paper was submitted recently and went really well. So I'm very grateful for that.
That's great to hear. And I mean, when you're guiding these students, what is there some common challenges that you see that students face? I mean, there are a lot of young people listening here. Are there any tips and tricks that you could give someone?
Yeah, I think it's just everyone's intimidated by it. They all see like the end result already at first. I think it's the most importantly about, and I think the thing when I was doing this when I was a student was like choosing the right topic. I didn't really know the right topic, and I again with all the interest I have, I think it was really hard, but really something that I always tell them is to really look at something where this isn't really such a job for you, but rather it's more about something you want to learn and enjoy more about. Like what's something you really think could be interesting to learn more about for yourself, and something you want to even learn more about. So I think it kind of make it something where they really enjoy it and throughout the time what they're doing, because most of these students are working full time. They have other stuff in their lives and life regardless. And so I think it's just very important to think about what could be the best thing moving forward for them so they can make the most out of it, but also enjoy the research too, because they have to make this like really long paper and defend it, and also create a very eloquent PowerPoint presentation too. Like for me, I'm not the most art driven person, but I had to take a lot of time for myself when I did it to make sure I made the best PowerPoint I could. Well, with the skills I had, and definitely because I had more time and I gave myself more time to prepare for it, I was able to make it a lot better than if I did leave it till the last 2 weeks. So it was very great.
Yeah, definitely. So the time management is an important factor. We have covered that for sure.
Absolutely.
Any other advice, like if we see more like not from the academia, but more on the professional side, when you get out and you want to apply for a job, you want to, take your next step in your career. I mean, you've done a lot as we covered in a short time. So any tips for the young listeners?
Yeah, I think is really making sure to help with cold emails and being grateful for people's time. I think one of the things that's been really helpful for me is I really take writing thank you notes very seriously. Especially, I'm so grateful for these times that I'm able to speak with these professionals, especially when I was in undergrad or really starting on my career. These people, I'm not at all paying for these people to speak with me. They're taking time out of their day, whether it be during the workday or after when they clock out. But to really say thank you for that, really make a meaningful note, just instead of just saying thank you for your time, but really taking something from the meeting, making that meaningful connection, hoping that the conversations can still continue, and then hopefully I can help them out as I move along in my career. And that's been really helpful for me to continue these connections. And whether it be for that role or something else, I just think allowing yourself to know more people and different things, and network is so important for this industry as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I completely agree. And these follow-ups and thank you notes and just keeping in touch is very underrated. It's very easy to that you reach out, you have this first interaction with someone, and then maybe you just reach out when you need something.
Yeah.
And that then it becomes a transactional relationship instead of doing you're checking in, maybe you saw that something, you saw on LinkedIn that they got a promotion or they did something. You just, say congratulations, reach out, keep in touch. That's really, really valuable. And as I said, I think underestimated.
No, absolutely. And I think it's been really helpful. And most importantly, I really appreciate the relationships that I've been able to have so far. So getting to know these people even further has been great, and keeping in touch, it's been crazy thing. It's been years now, but yeah, it's been wonderful. So I definitely recommend that for anyone trying to get into this field.
And in order to get in, because maybe young people think it might be, intimidating. How do you, if you want to get in contact with some CEO or executive in some companies, what are some tips for how to do that first interaction?
Yeah. So it's just making sure you, obviously make sure if you write a note, make sure the grammar's really perfect. You don't want to send something and not having spelling error, especially in the subject line or in the note itself. But try to sound genuine. Try to have a connection, whether it be from your university or hometown, or if it's some type of connection. Make sure to put that out there and just speak for a little bit of their time, because again, they're not getting paid for this. They're really just, it's their time, and they're really trying to convince them, saying should they speak to you, and how could you be beneficial to their company, team, so on and so forth. So making sure that you can show that you are willing to help out and do whatever it takes to be a part of that team for the greater good. And that'll be really helpful for their career as well.
Definitely. I think also some tips are to add value. If you can do that somehow, if you have noticed something that you can add or something like that, is also something that usually goes a long way. And that, not to shy away to reach out, because the worst thing, as you said, if you have written a well-written message and it's polite and everything, the worst thing you can get is a no. And then, that's not the end of the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there any other topics that we haven't covered so far, or anything that I haven't asked you that you would like to talk about?
No, I just, I'm so grateful for this conversation. I'm thankful for your time today. It's been really great to be here. And just if anyone, I'm so grateful to be in this position right now, where people have reached out to me for advice, and that be in this position now is just so full circle, complete 180. I'm so grateful to help other students and other people who are looking for help. So if anyone ever wants to contact me, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I hope to continue these conversations.
That's fantastic. Samuel, thank you so much for taking the time to be on Sports Management Podcast.
Hey, thank you for having me. Hope to keep in touch.
Thank you for listening to the Sports Management Podcast. Please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any upcoming episodes. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought about this episode. If you want to get in contact with me, send an email to sportsmpodcast@gmail.com. or hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram @SportsMPodcast.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.